Oh, hey. Didn't see you there. I'm gonna be maxing out some weights today. If you want to join me. You do? Great. Let's go.
What's up, everyone? Hope your day is going well. Today I'm going to be answering an important question that the channel itself depends on. Just how super average am I? We're going to find out by performing 1 rep max tests on the big 3 compound lifts: the squat, the bench press, and the deadlift. I'm going to take my numbers and compare them to the body weight ratios outlined in Jeff Nippard's strength assessment video, which you should definitely check out if you haven't already, as well as some of the standards outlined on strengthlevel.com. I'm actually feeling pretty optimistic about my technique and strength today, so here's what I think I'm going to be able to lift today. For the squat, a few months ago I did 270 without a belt, and I felt like maybe I had a little bit more in me. I think today I can probably do somewhere in the 275 to 295 pound range, and maybe 300 if I'm lucky. For the bench press, my last 1 rep max is only 170. I think maybe I can get 185. And finally, I'm not really sure about my deadlift. Recently, I did 365 pounds with a trap bar, and I don't really know how well it's going to translate to conventional, which is what I'm going to be pulling today. So maybe somewhere around the 315 range with a belt and straps. Alright, I'm going to stretch like a madman and then get into it.
The thug shaker, give me the...
What the hell?
Double cheeked up.
Brother, this guy stinks!
So the numbers are finally in: a 300-pound squat, 175-pound bench press, and a 315-pound deadlift. The first thing I notice here is that the proportions seem pretty off. Usually there's a bigger difference between the squat and the deadlift being the stronger lift generally. This could mean a few things, which I'll touch on later. On the other hand, I'm so happy with my squat right now, you guys. 300 has been a long time goal for me, and even though the ascent was a little shaky, I feel like my strength and technique has really skyrocketed lately. As far as my bench press goes, I think it's okay. 5 more pounds than my last max attempt, so this is a PR, but nothing crazy. Now we're going to go ahead and see how average these lifts are. So the categories in Jeff's video are all based on both your experience level, which is just how long you've been working out, and your lifts based on body weight ratios. So the levels are noob, beginner, intermediate, advanced, and freak. I've been working out on and off for a long time. I started doing a lot of bicep curls as a young man, for the ladies, that didn't work, playing some sports and so on. But honestly, I've only been consistently squatting and deadlifting for a year and a half or so. That means I'm technically in the beginner category, but with my combined experience, I think it could be fair to call myself an intermediate lifter as well. So because of that, I'm going to let the ratios decide my experience level for me. So looking at the squat first, I squatted 300 pounds at a body weight of about 160, meaning my squat to body weight ratio is about 1.875. This puts me in the advanced category, which is synonymous with those who have been lifting for around 5 or more years according to Jeff's standards. 300 also puts me in between the intermediate and advanced strength levels on strengthlevel.com, which are 259 and 336 pounds respectively. Based on the time that I've spent in the gym, this means that I'm actually above average at the squat. This means that my entire channel up to this point has been a lie, and this is going to be my last video ever. Jokes aside, this does actually mean that I'm good at something, which has never happened to me before. Now for the bench press, I was able to bench 175 pounds, so that's a body weight ratio of about 1.09, which puts me in the intermediate category, which is supposed to be about 2 years or so of lifting for most people. 175 is also between the novice and intermediate levels of 144 and 196 on strengthlevel.com. This is about what I expected. My bench press has never really been impressive, and my chest seems to be lagging compared to my other muscle groups. All in all, super average bench press. Finally, there's my interesting deadlift. Lifting 315 pounds as lifting 350 weight pound. Lifting 315 at a body weight of 160 gives us a ratio of 1.97, just shy of double my body weight, putting me in the intermediate category. On strengthlevel.com, however, I'm just barely over the intermediate threshold of 304, but far behind the advanced level of 389. As far as experience and strength level go, this is once again super average, just like every other aspect of this channel. I do think there are a few reasons for me to be a little bit concerned about this number though. The first being that, as I mentioned earlier, the squat is so close to my deadlift. This might mean that there's something off with my technique or strength and balance somewhere that I'm just not seeing. Furthermore, 315 was my tested max over a year ago, which means that I haven't progressed much, if at all. To be fair, I was doing trap bar deadlifts for a few months, and maybe today was just a bad day. I'll have to keep you guys updated. So what can we take away from this? The first is that I live up to my channel's name, and that my level of strength is fairly average for someone with my size and experience level. My squat is the only outlier here, which is really not something that I expected. I'm really proud of that though. It wasn't too long ago that I was getting excited about being able to squat 225. The second thing to take away from this is that none of this matters. These kinds of comparisons aren't perfect, as you might have been able to tell in this video. I wasn't in one solid category for most of my lifts, and the time periods didn't always line up either. Sure, having this kind of comparison can help you a little bit, but in my experience, comparing yourself to others doesn't really end well. So what should you do? If you're going to compare yourself to someone at all, compare yourself to, well, you. Who cares if you're technically not an elite lifter? Are you stronger than the person you were when you started lifting? More confident than the person you were when you walked into the gym for the first time? Are you healthy? Then fantastic. Your biggest competition is yesterday's version of you. Be consistent and focus on improving upon that person rather than beating someone else or forcing yourself into some kind of category. You're a winner in my eyes, and I love you. Thanks for watching.